Fame navigation for celebrities engaged in same-sex relationships during earlier periods was anything but simple. The looming dread of exposure hung over entertainers like a constant specter, rendering them susceptible to public scrutiny. Consequently, many stars concealed their true selves throughout their careers, shrouding their authentic identities in enigmatic ambiguity. Here, we present a handful of celebrities who successfully maintained a veil of secrecy in their romantic lives. Dan Hartman, renowned for his chart-topping hit I Can Dream About You, which featured on his album and the Streets of Fire soundtrack, found himself in a peculiar situation. In the music video, a group of 4 African-American men lip-sync the song, while Hartman portrays a flirtatious bartender, supposedly wrestling with the burden of being typecast as a black artist. In his subsequent album, Hartman unexpectedly opted for a grittier style and titled it White Boy. However, his record label, MCA, expressed dissatisfaction with the album's lack of obvious hits and refused to release it. Despite Hartman's intentional expression of his racial identity, he remained less forthcoming about his sexual orientation. It was during the 1980s when he received a diagnosis of HIV, an affliction he kept discreet, even after his close friend Holly Johnson, formerly of Frankie Goes to Hollywood, revealed his own diagnosis. Hartman chose to maintain his silence. Tragically, he succumbed to an AIDS-related brain tumor in 1994 at the age of 43, with only a small number of individuals aware of his homosexuality and declining health. Remembered for his portrayal of George Jefferson on television, Sherman Hemsley passed away from lung cancer in 2012 at the age of 74. Throughout his life, he never officially confirmed his romantic interests, leading to circulating rumors about his potential attraction to men. After his demise, several famous acquaintances publicly acknowledged his closeted lifestyle. In a recent interview, Garrett Morris, a fellow actor and longtime friend who made several guest appearances on The Jeffersons, asserted
black and being gay and being leftist was not a good combo. There were long-standing rumors that Sherman, he was in the closet for the better part of his life.
Yes, he was.
Is this something that was commonly known amongst you guys, or did you just find out in the aftermath?
I knew about it. I knew about it a long time before it came out. Yes.
Really?
Morris stated, "You mentioned being black and being gay and being leftist." Over its 11-season run, The Jeffersons explored various themes including discrimination, racism, and interracial marriage in a 4th-season episode titled Once a Friend. George is left astonished when he discovers that his old Navy comrade has undergone gender reassignment surgery and is now a captivating woman instead.
George, I'm a woman now. I'm not Eddie anymore, I'm Edie. For the first time in my life, I'm really happy.
Yeah, I'm thrilled too.
Took me all this time to get up the courage to call you my old buddy.
Throughout his illustrious career as taken aback by the revelation, is informed by his friend, "I'm a woman now. I'm not Eddie anymore. I'm Edie, and for the first time in my life, I'm really happy." Both individuals expressed their joy at reconnecting after so long, with Edie confessing it took her a great deal of courage to reach out to George. Esteemed TV producer and game show host, M.V. Griffin refrained from confirming or denying his sexual preference. Despite his silence, various events and accounts strongly indicate that he lived a discreet lifestyle. 2 men filed separate lawsuits alleging passionate relationships with Griffin, but these claims were ultimately dismissed in court. Following these incidents, Griffin publicly stated that both instances were attempts to extort money from him. Griffin's marriages to Kedden Jewel and Wright and later his association with actress Ava Gabor were often seen as attempts to divert speculation and gossip within the Hollywood community. Griffin's romantic interests in the same sex were known but considered an open secret, as legal constraints and societal norms at the time hindered open discussions. Colleagues and acquaintances believed that his discretion was shaped by his Catholic upbringing, political views, and the prevalent internalized homophobia of his generation. After his passing in 2007, The Hollywood Reporter published an article affirming that M.V. Griffin lived a private life as a gay man. While widely recognized for her outspoken nature on the hit sitcom Gimme a Break, Nell Carter candidly discussed personal matters like medical issues, drug addiction, and suicide in interviews. However, there was another aspect of her life that she kept confidential until her death. It wasn't until her passing that fans became aware of her long-term relationship with a woman named Kaiser. Nell Carter's first marriage to George Kakey ended after just 18 months due to her escalating drug and alcohol use. Following the separation, Nell went on to adopt 2 infant boys, Joshua and Daniel, who were born just 7 weeks apart. After a decade of marriage, Nell and George eventually divorced in 1992, with Nell experiencing several miscarriages along the way. She then entered into a second marriage with Canadian record producer Roger Laro, but this union ended within a year. Nell Carter passed away in 2003, leaving in Kaiser as the beneficiary and custodial parent. Anne, a parent to her teenage boys, took on a new role that was previously unknown to her wider audience. Family and friends were surprised to discover that she had been living with N.E. in her Beverly Hills home for a considerable amount of time. N.E., a pioneering comedic figure, attracted attention from those closest to him, including his widow Jennifer Lee, who frequently addressed rumors about his connection with Marlon Brando. Lee clarified that it was not an affair, but rather a relationship similar to other encounters he had with men. She emphasized that, despite these encounters, N.E. primarily preferred relationships with women. In his stand-up routines, N.E. often incorporated jokes about explicit interactions with Ben, which many perceived as humorous anecdotes. In his 1995 autobiography, he openly discussed an intimate involvement with a transgender woman, despite being married 7 times to 5 different women, 2 of whom he married twice. Monogamous relationships proved to be a challenge for N.E. Tragically, he passed away in 2005 from a heart attack while battling multiple sclerosis. Phyllis Hyman's music remains unmatched, standing the test of time for over 4 decades. She had a tumultuous personal life, being married once to musician Larry Alexander, who also served as her manager until their divorce in 1982. On June 30, 1995, she tragically died from a drug overdose in her New York City apartment. She was found unconscious mere hours before her scheduled performance at the Apollo Theater. In 2007, an authorized biography shed light on Phyllis's past relationships, revealing that she had been involved with both men and at least one woman, despite her well-known heterosexual marriage, which greatly influenced public perception. Phyllis's relationships were not exclusively with men. She battled bipolar disorder, severe depression, and emotional hardships, which ultimately contributed to her untimely death at the age of 45. Paul Winfield made significant contributions to the representation of black performers on television. His role on the TV series Julia helped pave the way for more opportunities for black actors. His portrayal of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the 1978 miniseries King was particularly noteworthy, highlighting his versatility as an actor. Winfield's talent extended to other projects such as Star Trek II, The Terminator, La La, 227, and his iconic voiceover work on the AE true crime series City Confidential. In addition to his professional success, Winfield was openly gay in his personal life. Managing his career with caution, he lived life while considering the discrimination against being gay during that time. Unfortunately, his partner, architect Charles Gillen Jr., passed away in 2002 after 30 years together. Tragically, Winfield suffered a fatal heart attack at the age of 64 in 2004. The entertainment industry has made progress in terms of LGBTQ+ representation, but the stories of these celebrities serve as a reminder of the challenges they faced in previous years. Beyond their artistry and talent, their journey shed light on the unique obstacles faced by those who dared to be true to themselves in a less accepting era. Thank you for watching.